Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use a master controller, how to hook up your rig to a master controller. So if you have built a rig and you have all of your 5 views, so front, 3/4, side, 3/4 back, and back views, once you have that, you should incorporate head tilts, and you want your character to be able to look as high up as they can. Then you have your middle, and then you have your down for the front, and then we'll do the same thing for the 3/4 up, middle, down, side, up, middle, down, 3/4 up, middle, down, back up, middle, down. So once you have that, then what you'll need to do is you will need to duplicate this rotation so that it's a full 180 rotation. And so the way to do that is you can copy your rotation here. So I'm going to go to copy cells from the timeline, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to right click and go paste reverse. So here I have the back. So these, oh, I think I'm missing one view here. Hold on. That's the down view here. I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to copy some more of the frames over here at the end. Maybe I'll put an extra keyframe there. And make sure you solidify your exposure on every keyframe. So let's copy that. Copy cells from the timeline. You can push that over. And here I'm going to paste reverse. So here we go. We've got the back, down, up, or middle and up. 3/4, oh, sorry. Here's what we're going to do here. On the top peg here, the walk peg, I'm going to flip the character here. So I'm just going to come up here. As long as my rotation point is in the middle, if I press 4, it's going to flip the character. So now I've got all of these views, but going the other way. Now, when you paste cells in reverse, you will get unwanted cell swaps. So if you look at like this arm here, it's just reading the previous cell swap. So what we can do is we can just grab this button here, paste mode exposure only, and because I don't want those cells here, I want these cells. So I'm just going to drag that over here, and now that arm is just okay there. Yeah, I've got some other funky business in that apron here. So here I can grab my cell information and just pull on it all the way here. I've got the right cells, but not the right. I'm going to do another pass just to make sure everything is right, but on the peg information here. So here I have all the cells that I want, and here my cells are messed up. Here they're okay. So I'm just going to pull that over here. So now I've got that. Same thing here. I've got some cell swap in my teeth here. So it's I don't know why Harmony does that. It's a little bit annoying, but it can be fixed just by grabbing the right cells and just pulling them over by one, like that. And I'm going to do another pass. I'm going to click on this here, and I'm going to do another pass on this apron. This is the correct one. I'm going to paste that here. And this is the correct one. I'm going to copy that and paste it here. And we can see there's a little bit of movement there. I think I'll copy that and paste that over here. So now I have a full 360 rotation. Let's copy that over here. Let's go and find that and just swap cells here. There we go. That's the back view here. All right. So now that I've swapped, I've removed the peg information and I flipped them here. I'm just going to solidify that peg information like that. Again, I'm on the walk peg here. That's where he flips. And here, I don't think I need that one. So I'm going to get rid of that by getting rid of the keyframes as well as the cells. And now he's got his front view, and then he flips right here. You can tell that the rig is just flipping sides here. So I'm going to bring that closer together. And there is my full rotation. Starting from the back here, looking all the way up, 3/4 looking all the way up, side looking all the way up, 3/4 looking all the way up, front looking all the way up, and then the rig flips and he looks all the way down, flips, looks all the way down, flips, or sorry, rotates, looks all the way down, 3/4 back, looks all the way down, and all the way to the end here. And I don't think I need that keyframe. So there's my rotation right in here. So now I'm going to put that into the master controller. So personally, I don't really like the master controllers. I think the pose copier works just as well if you copy the head into the pose copier. So I'm just going to show you how to use the pose copier before I use the grid, because it's way faster and I prefer it. So here's your Harmony Premium library. Under the library tab here, there's a little padlock on it. I'm going to right click and go right to modify. I have folders here. You might not. That's okay. You can either create them or you can just drag and drop in here. So I have a folder with my rigs. I'm going to go and just box select all of this here, and I can what you want to do before you do that is just bring the end scene marker over here, because all of this is going to go into the pose copier here. So all I need to do is copy that, copy my rig entirely, copy selection, go into the library here, right click into this black area, go paste. You'll have to wait a little bit. There's my character here, Suzuko.tpl, meaning template. Click OK. And then he shows up here. You can right click and go generate thumbnails. It's a heavy rig, so we'll have to wait a little bit. There we go. Almost there. And then there you go. There's my character in my library here. It's got all the head tilts and everything I need. If I need to bring him into another scene, I could just go into my other scene here, go into my library, open up my rigs. There he is right here. I can drag him onto the scene here. And there he is. I could shrink him and just put him over here and start animating. Okay. Now if I need another view, so once you bring in the rotation, you'll have the entire rotation. So like, let's say I need him in this view here. I can just get rid of all the other keyframes there in my scene. I'm also going to clean up the timeline by just selecting it all and pressing the K- to get rid of any unwanted cell swaps. And then let's say I'm animating, and look, I've got a bunch of cell swaps in here. So just going to hit that and get rid of any unwanted cells, and then, oh, still a little bit broken. If that happens, you can press delete and then press F5 again, and then your timeline should be nice and neat. Now if I need another view, I can go up to my pose copier here, ToonBoom pose copier, and here's my character, and I have a slider here, and I can choose another view. So if I want him over here, I can put a keyframe there, and I also have selected all three here: use default destination layer, paste layer by name, paste local values, and I want him into the side view here, maybe the side view looking up, let's say, and click paste. And it doesn't work when I click paste. It's saying default destination layer. That's because I need to collapse my rig completely. So now if I click that frame and I click paste, it's reading. Let's try that again. I'm going to put a keyframe there. Set default destination. I'm going to click that again. Now it's reading the top peg. When I click paste, there he is. If I need another view, and you know, there's another cell swap here. You can click the K minus. If that is still happening, like I've got this cell swap in his eye there, you can always like highlight, press delete, and then F5 again, and that will get rid of any unwanted cell swaps. So now if I need another view, I can go elsewhere in the timeline. I can put a keyframe there, choose another view, and click paste. And there he is. So that's how you use the pose copier. It's very, very fast. I love it. One thing that you might want to do with the pose copier is go inside the rig and just highlight the head here. So all of these things in this backdrop are composed of the head. So everything that's animated and doing cell swaps in the head is all in here. So I can right click and copy that selection, go into my library, right click and go paste, wait a little bit, and I'm going to call this one the same name as my character here. So I'll just say Suzuko underscore head.tpl, and there is my Suzuko head. So here we have the rotation, and here's the head. You can right click and go generate thumbnails, wait a little bit, and then we should have the entire head rotation in there. So there's my head rotation. It's got all the different views. So now I can go in here, and if I want a different head, I can just refresh my library here, and there's my Suzuko head right here. I can open up the pose copier, and let's say I need the 3/4 head looking it's not, the head is not flipping here, so it's constantly rotating to the right because it's not reading the flip on the walk peg. So that's why, like, if I'm going over here and I want him to look over to screen left, he's not. So but still, I can still use this head, and I can select this head here, and I can click set default destination layer and click paste, and there's that 3/4 head. Doesn't look all that great, to be honest, but, and if I need to use, you know, a different head, I can always tween it to get something in between. So I could probably get that, and then sometimes you'll have to go in and like maybe readjust certain things. You can readjust certain things whenever you paste if it's too far off from what you want. But you can do small tweaks and then get rid of anything you don't want. Like if I don't like this head, I can use this head and just drag it over top here. And now he's doing that. So yes, the post copier is way faster than setting up the master controllers, but if you want to learn how to do the master controllers, here we go. Oh, I just opened up another file there. Close that. Okay, so here we go, master controller. What you want to do is go outside the rig. You want to select the entire rig here, box select it, and hit this master controller, grid wizard. You'll have to wait a little bit. It's going to come up. Then you're going to come down here and choose turnaround. Hey, where is that? Turnaround 180 degrees mirrored 10 by 3. Turnaround 180 mirrored 10 by 3. Click OK. Then we're going to move that to the side here. And with your mouse, you can scroll this way so you can see the entire grid here. So it's pretty simple. We're going to click on that first frame here where he is facing the back and he's looking down. And I'm going to click on this keyframe here, and it tells me, do you want this to be, frame number 11, which is frame number 11, and then I click yes or okay. So now it's reading frame 11. Then I'm going to go to this one where he's looking straight ahead, and that's frame 13. So I just click on this one and click OK, and then so on and so forth. I go to the next one, he's looking up, click OK. Go to the next one, now he's in 3/4 facing screen left. Click down here, click OK. Here, middle, OK. Next, up, OK. Next, down, OK. Next, middle, OK. Next, up, OK. Next, down, OK. Next, middle, OK. Next, up, OK. Here's the tricky part. We're at the middle here. What you're going to want to do, this is really strange, but that's just the way it is. You can't really see it, but there are 2 dots here. There's one dot behind the other. Okay, you can like barely see it. Sometimes the red shows up right there, that little tiny spot right here. So what you want to do is you want to get right in there. Okay, for this one where he looks down, you can click on it. If you click, if I click this one, it's white, but that's not what you want. You want the one behind it. So now we can see there's a little box behind it. We're going to click OK. And we're going to move on. Now I can maybe just take my mouse and move up here. And again, there's 2 keyframes on top of each other. So you want to select the one that's next to that. We're going to go to the next keyframe here where he's looking straight ahead. Going to click OK. And I'm going to go to the final one here. So the reason why it's like that is because, oh, cancel. I need the one in the back here. So because those things will be between one another, but you don't necessarily want where the rig is flipping to be tweened because it won't work. That's why they're so close together. However, if you do that, you can separate them a little bit. Where it says position here, if you press down only once, you'll be able to see them a little bit better. But that means that there will be a small tween in between inside the master controller. It's not a big deal, but it's what it is. So now I'm going to the next frame here, and now he's looking up. So I'm clicking the top one because I want him to look up when it goes there. That's frame 41. Click OK. Now I can zoom out here with my mouse. I can scroll so that it's just going to be a lot faster. Here he's looking in the middle, so I'm clicking in the middle. Next one he's looking down, I'm clicking down. Top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom, and the last one here, top looking up, middle looking forward, bottom, looking down, then that's it. I've got all green dots here. You can zoom out to make sure it's all green dots. You can give it a name. I'm going to say Suzuko rotation here. Whoops, my caps is on. And I will click on create. When you click create, you're going to have to wait a little bit. Then it's going to say, hey, where do you want this to be hooked up? I named a composite at the very bottom of my rig. I named it master composite. So I'm going to hook up this master controller on that one. It doesn't really matter which composite, but yeah, I'll show you in a bit. So I'm going to attach that to my master composite, click OK. Then it's going to ask me to save this master controller business. So I'm going to click yes. I'm going to save it here. I'm going to replace the other one I had. And that's it. Now you can take this menu and just move it over. And now I'm inside my rig here. This is inside my rig. If I go down to the bottom, I have a master composite here. And there's my rotation. So this is really important, this next step here. Okay. If you want to test out this rotation, don't start testing it out here, because this is your original rotation. So what you might want to do is go further down the timeline here and put a keyframe there, and then you can start moving this this master controller around. So now if I want him to look up here, he's looking up all the time. He's looking up. Now obviously the rig is breaking in some areas because of the layering. I've got pieces that are being layered in Z depth. They are going behind other pieces, and other pieces are coming forward. So some areas, you know, the rig is not, it's not perfect. But again, like I would use, you know, all of this is usable, right? All of that is usable. He looks great here. He looks fine here. You know, I can fine tune that. He's looking, and then here he kind of breaks, and then here he looks fine. Right, so there will be some areas where it will be messed up. Here's what I was talking about, the middle of the grid here. We have our character flipping because we put this little space here, right? So if I don't want that space, I could probably undo it by doing that. And then maybe resaving and just redoing my my master control. But by the way, this has to be on for you to be able to grab this dot and move it around. Now I know what you're thinking when you go to animate. You know, this master controller is kind of in the way. If you don't want it there, you can put a peg on it, and that you can turn off the animate button. Grab that and just move the entire thing over up here, and then turn this back on, and now my master controller is up here. It's not in the way of me animating and choosing like the views that I want. And that's it. That's the one for this. If you wanted to use any other master controllers, you could technically just go in there and choose whatever you want. So if I want a master controller for, let's say, just his torso, I can click on this and then click on this, a slider wizard, and then I can say I want a horizontal layout, and maybe click create, and to which composite I want that attached to my master composite. Click OK. My slider, I'll call it like that. It's going to say, where do you want to save this? Of course you want to save it, you know, in the same area that your rig is in, and then that's it. So now if I go in here, I have I broke my rotation now because I messed around with this. I said what not to do, and it broke my frame here. So anyways, here is my slider for the rotation. So I have, it didn't really work all that well. It doesn't have the entire chest in there, which is strange. I think I might have messed that up, but that is the idea with the other types of sliders and things like that. So I'll just stop the video here and you can experiment on your own. But yeah, now I have to go back and fix this frame. This frame does not belong there. Luckily, I already have that frame that I messed up right here. I think it's this one. Let's go fix that. Oh, I think he's fine. No, this one is broken. So here I need the one where he looks straightforward. So I can get rid of that. And I'm going to go and get my frame that the one where he's looking straightforward. There. So these two are the same as these two. It's just flipped here. Down, middle, up. There. So now if I want to use my master controller in another scene, I could go in here and I can refresh my library, and then I can click on Suzuko here, and just go to Windows, Master Controllers. It's going to bring this little window up here. And click on this button here, Show Master Controller. I think I'd have to re-import my character here. Let's try this again. Or I'll refresh my library. Import him again. I'll bring him to the front. And if I go to Windows, Master Controller, click that, Show Master Controllers. No. Oh, that's why he's not showing up. I'll show you why he's not showing up. He's not showing up because I didn't save my master controller rotation in my library here. So because now he has a master controller here, I can copy him again. Whoops. And I'm going to get rid of what I messed up here and just put the end scene marker here. Otherwise it will save things that you don't necessarily want. So here I can copy selection, go inside my library, paste, but this one I'm going to call Suzuko Master Controllers. Okay. Now if I go in another scene, well, here's one that I already have here, Master Controller Dracula. I can just bring him in here. There he is. I'm going to bring him forward in Z depth, maybe size him. There's my Dracula rotation here. So if I want to see the master controllers, I go to Windows, Master Controllers, and here he is right here. So he's showing up, Master Controllers. I can select all of them and click on this button here. And then there they are. I have a master controller for his rotation here. And I have one for his hands. A slider. I have rigged hands here. So if I want to animate, I can do that and then choose the hand that I want. He's got different levels of grip. And I can choose, and I don't have one for his head. So now when I do that, I've lost the arm that I wanted. So that's a little bit annoying. That's why I have a Dracula head pose copier. So you can mix and match between the pose copier and the master controllers. And if you want to move the master controllers, you can click on it and go and find it in here in the node view. And here we have the master controllers here. They're neatly tucked into this spot. And I put a peg on it, and now I can move all of the controllers off to the side like that, so they're not in the way when I'm animating. And I guess that's it for this video.